space there in the walls. And this is, we looked at the two ideas today, we saw the center perfectly. And we look here, and these are not centered in each of the walls, but they're even. So those are completely contrast with what we find in Tutankhamun's burial chamber. The second thing, and for me the most interesting, is that closer to the outside, as you actually come into the tomb, there's a well shaft that goes down. And if the far wall of that well shaft is decorated. Now, if you look closely at it, you will see that the decoration is cut in half. So what it means is that that wall, that far wall, was originally decorated over its entirety to conceal the continuation of the tomb into these internal parts. Now, I think that what we've got in the tomb of Tutankhamun is something very, very similar. And the fact that blocking is that painted decoration has not been broken in antiquity would suggest that whatever was buried behind it is still intact.
So originally, Tutankhamun's burial chamber was only a corridor leading to another.
Yes. Yes. The tomb of Tutankhamun is a tomb within a tomb, I think. So the main tomb itself has still not been discovered. It's behind that north wall.
And one question. There are a lot of theories about Nefertiti being the mother of Tutankhamun, and a few years ago, the West said that after the DNA test, it wasn't possible that Nefertiti would be his mom. Is it something that we can still consider, or?
I have never said that Tutankhamun was the son of Nefertiti. Yeah. I never believed that. I think that Tutankhamun was the son of a lesser queen called Kia, who appears from nowhere, and we have to explain why she appears so prominently. The fact that this is at the time that Tutankhamun was born would seem to suggest that perhaps Kia owed her rise to providing the king with a son. Because of course he had 6 daughters, but he wanted a successor.
In your study, you say you still think that Nefertiti may have been a co-pharaoh or a pharaoh on the throne for a few months before.
I think Nefertiti disappears around year 16, according to the latest inscriptions that's been found. I think that Nefertiti didn't disappear. She simply changed her name. She changed her name to Ankheprire Nefertiti, who was the co-regent of Akhenaten. So she was elevated in power. And I think that she still held that position when Akhenaten died. And as the only living co-regent, she became a full pharaoh in her own right.
Before King Tut.
Before King Tutankhamun. And when she died, Tutankhamun, as the successor, was responsible for burying her in Now, I think he buried her in tomb KB62.
Even though she was stepmother, that relationship would have been better to have that very close.
I think the personal relationships didn't come into it. I don't think it matters who she was. The fact is that if Nefertiti ruled in her own right as the pharaoh of Semenkhare, then Tutankhamun is responsible for burying her. So I think what's important is that she was a predecessor pharaoh and he is a successor pharaoh. So that's why he is shown burying her in that tomb. Now, why he was buried there, that's another question. Why was Tutankhamun buried if I'm right, why was Tutankhamun buried in the tomb, in the outer portions of the tomb of Nefertiti? Well, Tutankhamun died unexpectedly. They didn't expect, they hadn't prepared anything. He was a child. They had to do something. They had to do something in a limited time frame. And I think since Nefertiti had been buried only a decade before, they remembered that this tomb was there, and they thought, well, perhaps we can extend the next day, and I believe that's what we did. But time will tell. Who knows?